Hello, I'm Raphael, co-founder and CEO of Bestmile. Bestmile, we are a Swiss company based in Lausanne, and we are providing the first cloud platform designed to connect, manage, and optimize any fleet of vehicle, including autonomous vehicle. But before talking a little bit more about Bestmile, I just want to go back a little bit in the past and to show you a picture of New York City. This picture was taken 1 century ago, and you can see that at that time, horses were the main mode of transportation. But you can still see the first car just here in the middle. Only 13 years after, cars were used everywhere in New York City. So these two images are important to remember that even in our industry, which is a pretty conservative industry, big changes can happen really fast. The main issue is that between the second picture and today, we are just doing more or less the same thing. We are just producing more and more cars, and this is creating a lot of issues in urban places like traffic and air pollution. But more and more we see smarter on-demand transportation system emerging, like taxi, but ride-hailing, carpooling, also micro-transit. And in the next 2 years, we are going to see fleets of autonomous shuttle and also robotaxi. This is part of a transition where people in the past were just owning and using a personal car, and in the future, people will use a service instead of just owning a personal car. But all this transition will create quite a lot of issues. If you are a transportation company and you want to run an on-demand transportation system, and even more with autonomous vehicle, you will need a software platform allowing you to connect and manage this kind of fleet. And a good analogy is a control tower in an airport. If you look at an airport, you have people like Airbus and Boeing designing and deploying planes. Planes are smart because they have an autopilot, but at the end of the day, in order to have an airport working, you still need a control tower because just technology inside the plane is not enough. And this is going to be the same also for autonomous vehicle. You will have technology inside the vehicle, making the vehicle smart, but you will need a control tower allowing mobility providers to run and operate the fleet. So at Bestmile, we started to work with autonomous vehicles already in 2012 when the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne bought one of the really first prototypes that was available in Europe. And by testing and running this prototype, we saw that a lot of companies were really focusing on the vehicle or some technologies that goes inside the vehicle, but no one was focusing on a system designed to allow transportation companies to run a fleet. And this is why we decided to create this company. It was done a few months after in early 2014. I'm just going to show you a 1-minute video explaining you a little bit more how the system is working and what is really our role in this kind of ecosystem. So the first step of our platform is really to be connected to the vehicle and to collect data. So we are collecting telemetry information, telematic information about the vehicle, but also external data about road traffic and weather, and also demand for sure. So from where to where people are asking some trips. Then we run optimizations like routing and dispatching, and at the end of this process, the main goal for us is to send back the right mission to the right vehicle at the right time. And we can enable 2 big families of transportation solutions. We can enable classical public transportation system, where vehicles are used on a fixed route with a timetable or an headway between vehicles. But we can also enable on-demand transportation with a lot of different subtypes, like with or without pre-booking, with or without pooling, with or without predefined station. What is important to know is that we are a pure B2B software provider, so we don't operate ourselves any fleet. We don't want to become ourselves a transportation company, but we want to help transportation companies to run efficient and smart on-demand transportation, again, with or without autonomous vehicle. We are doing that because we think that fleets are going to be mixed and hybrid for at least 5, 10, 20 years. You are going to have existing human-driven vehicles working together with autonomous vehicle. Maybe autonomous vehicle will be provided by several car makers or OEM. And so if you are a transportation company, you have to find a platform allowing you to do that. And we are this kind of provider at Bestmile. So we are targeting several types of transportation companies, transit operators, but also TNCs and taxi companies. These two first categories of customers have been our focus since 2014. As of today, we are also starting to target rental car companies and OEM starting their own mobility solution on demand. We are in a market that is still only at the beginning. For sure, companies like Uber and Lyft are already really big, but nevertheless, mobility as a service is only starting to grow. And one part of this scaling is going to be done by existing human-driven solutions, and one part of this scaling is going to be done by using fleets of robotaxi. As of today, we have something like 12 fleets in the world already using our system with autonomous vehicle. Some of the biggest transportation companies around the globe, like RATP, Keolis, and Nobina. We are working with almost all the shuttle providers already building and selling early types of autonomous vehicle. And when it comes to human-driven fleets, we are about to deploy a first fleet in the United States. It's going to be a ride-hailing company competing with Uber and Lyft in Dallas. But instead of developing its own technology alone, this company is going to run on our cloud platform. Last but not least, we are also starting a microtransit service in the south of France with a company called L'Or, building this new type of small bus, which are going to be human-driven. Last but not least, also robotaxi with a partner called Renovo in the United States. So at Bestmile, we started in 2014. We are now a team of something like 60 people worldwide. All the technology is built in Lausanne, and we also have some developers elsewhere in Europe. We have about 10 people in the United States focused on sales, marketing, and business development. And a few months ago, we started also to have small offices in Asia. We raised 2 rounds of funding, a seed in 2016 and a Series A in 2017. And we are now starting to plan our Series B for early next year. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.